Hey guys, Equinox is going to be my Chains of Domination video about the new Domination Sockets. So we're just going to go over the good ones for Brewmaster. We're not going to go over which like every single one of them. We're only going to go over the ones that you'll actually use. So there's going to be 6 options for Brewmaster. There's 2 Frost, 2 Blood, and 1 Unholy. So yeah, let's get right into the blood shards. It's all 3 of them can be used. There's Shard of Red, which is just flat leech. It's 41 leech at max rank, I'm pretty sure. Shard of Beck, which is your damage is increased by 2% when you have 50% or more HP than your target. And then there's incoming healing you receive is increased by 1%, and your max HP increased by 400. These are all upgradable. You can upgrade them 3 times, I'm pretty sure. The rank upgrades are 5 for Ominous, 15 for Desolate, 30 for Foreboding, and 50 for Portentous. So Portentous is the max upgrade here, as you can see. These all cost Stygian Embers plus the original shards. So if you want a Portentous shard of core, like this one, then you'll have to get up all the Stygian Embers. You'll have to trade each rank in, plus the correct Stygian Embers. But yeah, let's... So the blood ones are pretty simple. The best one for M+ is probably going to be Shard of Beck. It's just easy damage increase. You get a decent amount of uptime on it during packs, so I think that one's really strong. The leech one's obviously really strong, and I think the healing one is probably the least priority. Frost, you want to either get there's Shard of Core and Shard of Kier. Shard of Kier is the absorb shield, and Shard of Core is just whenever you hit a new enemy, you can regain damage for 30 or 20 seconds. This one's really good. It has like a 50% to 60% uptime in M+. Really strong. This absorb is bugged right now. Whenever you get the buff for the absorb, it turns off all your absorbs. That'll most likely be fixed when it comes live, so not too worried about that. And then Unholy, there's one good Unholy shard, and it is the Shard of Dies. Damage a shard, increase your damage done to that target by 0.33% for 4 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. It's 0.5% at max rank, so it's 1.5% increased damage. This does proc off of Rushing Jade Wind, so you pretty much have like 100% uptime. So yeah, that's all the shards. I'm gonna go over what you want to do priority-wise, like what your first 3 you want to get are. So once you get 3 domination sockets, you want to prioritize these 3 that I have on right now. It is the Shard of Beck, then the Shard of Core, and then the Shard of Dies. So the single best one you want is Shard of Core. If you only have 1 domination socket, this is the one you want to run. If you have 2, you want to run Core. You want to run Core and Dies. You want to run Core and Dies. Those are your first 2. These are the most consistent ones, and they'll always they'll do like way more than this one. And then you'll go Shard of Beck last. After the first 3 you get, and once you start getting number 4 and number 5, then you want to prioritize the second blood. So you either want Jas or Rev, whichever one you can get your hands on. Ideally, if you can get a fully upgraded Rev, it should be a little bit better than Jas over the course of a dungeon. But if you get a fully upgraded Jas, I would just use it, especially if you don't have any extra leech gear. If you have no extra leech gear, this is probably better. Shard of Rev is about 41 leech, which is about 1.8%. So yeah, I would definitely use Shard of Jas if you don't have any other leech gear. Shard of Kier, this one is about a 6k absorb once it gets to max rank. It's a pretty decent. I think it's worse than Shard of Jas overall. It's pretty low overall healing, but I think it's okay. But yeah, the order that you want to get, like a priority, is Shard of Core, Shard of Dies, Shard of Beck, and then Shard of Jas or Rev, and then Shard of Kier. You don't want both of these. As far as the set bonuses go, they're super irrelevant for M+ because they don't work in M+. They only work in the Maw and the new raids, so it's kind of pointless. If they for some reason make the set bonuses work, you would go triple blood and get Blood Link. It drains HP from your enemies and redistributes it to your allies, or you would want the Winds of Winter. The issue with the set bonuses is the winter one's okay. The third frost one is, which one is it? It's Shard of Tell. Your critical hits cause nearby ally to absorb damage. This one's like okay. It's not great, but if they for some reason allow the set bonuses, you would want that, and you would probably replace. You would replace this one. No, you'd replace Jas. Yeah, you'd replace Jas. So you would run Core, Kier, and the other Frost one instead of Jas. And then you'd run Shard of Dyes and Shard of Beck. And that would be your first three, and then the other two would be Frost. As far as acquiring the sockets, you just get them from Raid. I don't think we know which ones drop off of which boss, but you get those and the Stygian Embers just from doing this. And you also get Stygian Embers from Korthia, if I do remember correctly. I think I have a quest. Yeah, they give you Stygian Embers right here, so you can get them from there. You talk to Bonesmith Hymir when you're in Korthia, and you just trade up. You just give him the old shard plus the Stygian Embers, he'll give you the new one. But yeah, that's the order that you want Domination Sockets in. Like I said, you want Core. That's what we call it. Yeah, Core, Dyes, Beck, Jas, or Rev, and then Kier. That's the first 5 you want. It doesn't matter like when you get them. This is just the order of what you want to socket it in as you gradually get more Domination Sockets. So like as you go from 1 to 5, that's the order you want to put them in. The raid set bonuses, if you're really interested in raid, I know I said I wouldn't go over them, but I'm going to go over them really quick. The Winds of Winter will probably be your best, I'd say. It's damage and shield, so I think that's your best bet as a tank. The Unholy one is good for pure damage. I would get that if you're just going for pure damage, and the Blood one is a little bit of damage and a little bit of group healing. So just whatever one you want. I think Frost is the best one for sure, and then Unholy second best for raid, and then Blood last. If they for some reason allow it in M+, it'd be Frost, Blood, and then Unholy in that order, if you can get the sub bonuses. But yeah, that's about it. It's a pretty short video going over just like how it affects Brewmaster. I guess I'll go over the slots really quick. That one's pretty important. You'll want this chest, Mossborn Eviscerated Cuirass from the Eye of the Jailer. The reason you take this one over Sylvanas' chest is because it has haste verse instead of crit mastery. Even though you gain a decent like eye level, so like here it's probably like how much agility? Oh, it's actually 20 agility. Maybe how much is the item? That's a 7 agility. Okay, that's not bad. 7 agility. So yeah, I would definitely use Mossborn Eviscerated Cuirass over this. You gain so much more from the verse and haste than you would the crit mastery. And your Domination Socket doesn't scale with the gear piece's eye level, it just scales with itself. Shoulders, you want the same ones I'm wearing. I don't remember which boss they're on. Is it Terradrew? Yeah, Terradrew. Verse Mastery. Best stats for Brewmaster. Like, there's no way you're going to run the Kel'Thuzad ones or haste crit. It's really bad stats. So yeah, same thing. You just want good stats. And then the last one is the Helm. And that one is also haste verse. It is from Remnant of Ner'zhul. That'll be yours. And then the gloves, which is your 4th one, will be from Painsmith, First Mastery. And then the last one is from Fates, Guardians. Yeah, no, not Guardians. Soul Render? Yeah, Soul Render. So that'll be your 5th one. Ideally, your first Domination Sockets, if you are doing Loot Council, you want the gloves first because they're your best in slot stats, and then the chest, and then the shoulders. No, you want the shoulders before the chest. So yeah, gloves and shoulders first, and then chest, and then helm, and then boots. The reason you want the boots last is because they give these two give more main stat. These two are bis stats. The boots are more heavy mastery weighted, which you don't want that much. You want more verse weighted stuff. So these will be last priority. If you have a choice, just get them whenever you can. So it's not a big deal. But yeah, that's the video. I hope the information is helpful to you guys, and I'll see you on the next one to go over Kyrian.